Now on view at Llewellyn Galleries is an exhibition entitled The Many Worlds of Esphyr Slobodkina, which includes painting, textile, works on paper, and collage from this remarkable artist's 7-decade career. Early on, Slobodkina was an important advocate for the burgeoning abstract art movement of the 1930s and 1940s in the United States. Her modernist geometric works were championed by early institutional icons of American art, such as Peggy Guggenheim, Alfred Barr, and the art critic Clement Greenberg. Slobodkina was a founding member of the American Abstract Artists, a group that exhibited together and promoted abstract art when it was still viewed unfavorably in the United States. Founded in 1936, the group is still active today. It included members such as Piet Mondrian, Joseph Albers, Alice Trumbull Mason, and many others. While Slobodkina played a central role in the early development of abstract art in the United States, her legacy has spanned far wider. From those historic beginnings, Slobodkina became known for her fierce individuality and for her art practice that saw her use a variety of media, from oils to assemblage sculpture to textile. The exhibition demonstrates both her stature as a legend of early American abstract painting, as well as the ways in which she was untethered by those expectations that were put on her as an innovator of American art. By the 1940s, Slobodkina had developed a fully realized abstract style that involved collage-like arrangements of flat, curvilinear forms and toned lyrical shapes, but which still often hinted at imagery from the physical world.
Because she was trained as an architect initially, she was going to become an architect. That was never the career she took, but it always influenced her imagery. So you can recognize certain things, and she always likes to use, she liked the things that surrounded her. Her things that surrounded her often incorporated. So we can see a door hinge over here. We can see a screwdriver. She is abstracting objects not for their objectness, but often for the tensions. Think of the tension of a door hinge that's half open. You can see as she often incorporates these figures that could be tension pulleys. You could almost feel the tension. She is, again, these are tertiary colors. These are not secondary, they're not primary. She's also using colors for a very emotional thing, and you don't necessarily think of emotion with this, but tell me, what does that say to you? Look at that pink, it just jumps out at you.
In her abstractions, her works in fabric and textile, and many of her representational works have a quality of layered, opaque, or textured forms that recall her interest in collage.
Her collages are using the material as a medium, not as an end product. And so what many people are surprised by is this is virtually all fabric. Her mother was a seamstress. She was taught to be a seamstress, so the sewing comes back and comes back and comes back. Because what I find amazing is A, fabrics, B, very likely fabrics she designed. Fabrics she certainly took home with her. Throughout her life, she always had, baskets full of fabric, all sorts of things, because she loved the texture, the feel, the way that light would shine through the fabric or not shine through the fabric. All of those aspects of fabric, which are in their own nature very painterly. But how many artists have you ever encountered who use fabric as a paint? I mean, she is painting with fabric. It's an amazing idea. I cannot think of any living artist today who's doing that. This one is a magical work. This is not a painting. It's painted, but the dominant material is fabric, and she's actually using netting throughout a whole major portion of it. It's sort of like you're looking through veils. And it's a dream, so dreams are disjointed. They're not straight, there's not a linear tale in a dream in most dreams. But here you can see what could be Russian folk tales. Think about the colorful nature of Russian folk tales.
While Slobodkina's efforts helped to shape the progression of modern art in the United States, she refused to be defined by those efforts. Instead, Slobodkina approached all facets of life through the prism of art. Thank you for joining us on this tour of the many worlds of Esphyr Slobodkina. Click on the link in the description below for a full digital catalog of all works in the exhibition.